Hello guys, Alvarp here. We're back in Fate Helix. So I noticed last episode that the audio was all messed up. So I fixed that for this one, but that's all. I fixed it on the recording side. My volume for me is the exact same, and I kind of want to keep it that way. So this is the first area. You start getting these things. I'm not sure if I like them or not, to be honest. And that's not because I think they're a bad item, but because they kind of just mess up your inventory. One second, let me turn off music. Music and sounds, music, die. So they kind of just mess up your inventory basically, and then they're not reusable. And they're actually, I'm not sure how many people have found it since I'm recording this right when it's released, so there aren't any other people playing this now. But I have this here and these, so yes, they exist. And we have that. We can put the backup in there. Again, advantages I have as a map maker. So, that. Not reading that, get used to it. Okay. And then we can do this. And so it's just kind of slowly building. There's a little bit of bridging. And the idea of that is to make sure it's not just to waste your time, but to make the player stay on one island. So in this island, yeah, it's just kind of busy work, but in the other islands, it starts becoming that you could probably just charge through if there wasn't a if there wasn't, oh, that's weird, if there wasn't a oh, that's so annoying. We have to fix this now because you gotta go like that. Oh shit. Let's not do that. Okay. Because there's also a giant ocean you'll fall into if you try to rush the area. And I think you can make a couple of the jumps, but definitely not all of them. And so here we go. And again, this is still, especially for this first section, it's still fairly easy. But I did not expect a creeper here. But yeah, and also things are a lot easier because you can knock things off giant islands instead of just having to actually kill them. Hey guy. Wait, did I just hit you through that? I did. Get out of my life. And you're dead. Kind of. So you get this guy, and there is stuff underneath it, so. See that? Yeah. Might be a little OP, but it makes the next few areas a lot more interesting. So we have this, which is below level 2 pretty much. There's a skeleton behind me. I heard him. But again, nothing too overpowered, just a little flame one. And that this guy is supposed to work with the TNT that I didn't even move from chest to chest. And so when playing this area, I'm gonna have to recommend, if you're still watching this before you played, you're gonna want to take it carefully. And that doesn't mean just like don't move forward at all. And of course, it's always smart to play carefully, but because there's like, especially I think this area gets tougher, and that area gets a lot tougher. But also, everything is gonna, because the fact that you're lighting things up, and the fact that the islands kind of spiral around themselves. As you go further, the spawns get harder and harder. And even though I actually have more honeypots, every single one of these is a honeypot. It's a bunch of different colors. That's right, this is. So another complaint I had from beta tester was that it's a pain in the ass to have to bridge. So I gave them some ender pearls that also have knockback 2 and some dirt. I don't want you getting any resources from bridging materials, so that was my solution. So here is your, I guess this is the first encounter. But your first encounter with some mobs. Anyway, so how I always played this area when I was creating it, because you have to play the areas when I make them, is I would run in there, light it up, run away. Then they would come over to me, I get rid of them, and so now there's no natural spawns. And that was it. So it's a fairly simple solution for this area, but it works. And I should probably get onto safer ground, like here. So we just kind of run in there, and the reasoning behind that is to take it out. I don't know. The reasoning behind that's fairly self-explanatory. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is, these guys, they will wreck your face. They will wreck your day. You do not want them to mess with you. They're not your friend, and you are not their friend. The dislike is mutual. And so, I have a tendency of preferring to blow these guys up over messing with torches and crap. Just because you don't get a bunch of great resources from them, and because it's a skeleton that kills you with melee weapons, combined with a skeleton that kills you with ranged weapons, they're pretty much a bunch of skeletons that work together to kill you, which is not what you want. And for some reason or other, I know I did that even when I was playing, and it didn't work then, and I don't know why I thought it would work now, but it definitely does not work. And then also you're going to get a potion right here. Well, first you're going to want to light up this place. But under this thing, there's a bunch of very useful potions. And the other problem is, since this place is set to be forever night, it's kind of Endermen deal more damage to the landscape. Again, just the landscape don't actually hurt you more. And so this is a point where I kind of like to set up my first temporary base. This is a mini map, but you want to take it slowly still. I kind of made this in the fashion that I would if I had made a full map. And so I want you to I designed it for gameplay similar to full maps. Again, you can still, it doesn't mean you can't play it fast, it just means it's not quite, it's going to be a bit meaner to you if you rush the areas a bit too much. So let's do some quick little work here, moving things to other places. Just kind of advancing your gear, you know, that deal. But the other reason is because I have a so first of all, there's no bed usage. That's one of the rules. And that's just because I set your spawn in the main area, and that's another reason you want to keep your back, because since there isn't any, since you're not allowed to, since you aren't allowed to make a bed, you start at the beginning of every area with nothing. So, oh shit, that's a witch. So these things kind of really seriously broke the balance of this map. But thankfully, I can kill them from range and waste away all my arrows. They still scare the crap out of me. So yes, watch out for those witches. They were not intended, but they're part of the game now, and I don't think they're that broken. I mean, don't get me wrong, they make the map freaking really tough, but they're still fairly balanced if you just approach them the right way. Or if they're really far away from you, you can just shoot them. Either strategy works. So I'm just going to light it up. Use the crappy torches to light things up. You want to use these ones when you're actually in combat. What the hell? Why did you explode there? Really? At least you didn't blow up a chest. Okay, so there's, yeah, the Enderman. I'm not sure if any of my testers found it. No one commented that they found it, and I feel like it was hidden enough that they'd be like, was this a secret chest? Yay. Or maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Though it's very good that I didn't die. Oh. The other problem I've had is having skeletons spawn up there. You see them, right? They'll spawn up there, shoot at you. And the arrows is an intentional move. The fact that they're scarce. And that's just because I give you fairly powerful bows, so there's no other restricting factor other than the amount of arrows you have, making it something I sort of want to limit the player's access to. But that's kind of the only reason that I bothered limiting that. Let's keep you, and then, sorry, I gotta inventory manage and stuff. And then we do that. I don't know why I did that. Do this. Okay. Inventory has been managed, except for you. And I don't have a problem with you using string to make wool. Yeah. So, they have a habit of, what the hell? Get that. There we go. I don't know what that was. That was a glitchy game being glitchy, which is pretty much to be expected. But yeah, this is, again, it's a fairly easy spawner, but it's something that you just kind of aren't looking for since it's sort of floating in the middle of it. The idea is that something like that might happen, except for it'll actually shoot you. But I give you some torches, whatever, and these things. These things are what you want, not the crowd controls. They're meh. I'm actually not a huge fan of using them, but I feel like it'd be fun for some other players, some other play styles to use. So I kept them there. But the main idea, oh, we're gonna have to get a chest. The main idea behind those is to, yeah, you can hear the zombies in there right now. Behind those little mob thingamajiggers, I forgot what I was talking about. The idea behind something. Oh, the adrenaline shots is to, is basically, what the golden apple used to be, is something that kind of lets you charge in there without fear of death, but it had to have some kind of repercussion, and so you'll see what it does is, had a tester complain about the speed and how it's 20% or 15%, you can't tell. It's because it does both, so really you gain 5%, but what happens is, the slowness lasts for a minute, while speed lasts for 30 seconds. Same with all the positive effects, so you're pretty much immortal for the first 30 seconds, and the next 30 seconds, bad things will happen to you. So, that's really even. I just want some stuff, and there isn't any wool, or white wool in this map, unless you make it, so, why did I do that? You go, front slot. But that's pretty much all those are there for, and they do come in handy fairly early on in this area. I think this is, when I was first playing through it, the next place is, this is a fairly easy island. I haven't had any, I don't think I've ever died facing it. This one's the first one where I started thinking the stacked guys are a little OP. I haven't decided whether they're OP or not, but they definitely could be considered that. So that's something that I'm considering changing in a future update, but I was surprised when no one talked about it, and I think it just might be the fact that I do not play them in the best possible fashion, and that's coming from the person who makes them. I just kind of like rushing up against them, but they're a custom mob, and you gotta always be careful around them custom mobs. Those things will kill you very fast. So I have ender pearls, which I haven't tested gameplay with. That was something I added very late in the development. So the ender pearls, how they're balanced, hasn't been really, they haven't been balanced very much. That's how they've been balanced. So that creeper scares me. So it'll get out of my head, or it'll just blow up randomly because it's an asshole. So yeah, this place was originally max spawn when I first made it. That turned out well. But yeah, I'm tempted to just break these. So upstairs, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies because this is got a chance of being my first death. This is a place where I have died many times, and I think safety rails will be helpful. So we will make safety rails, like so. We all know how to make safety rails, but they're very important. And especially in my map where I know what's coming, I am especially nervous. But I still think a more careful player will make safety rails, and so I'm permitting myself to do this. And you'll occasionally get this stray skeleton or whatever walking down while making it, but in total it's not that bad to make these things in this area. It's definitely worth it, as you will maybe learn, depending on whether I fall off or not. But especially since you're going to be doing a lot of running away, you don't want to have to be doing a lot of dying while running away. So that's a plus, not dying. And so that's kind of what these things are for. And I'm really just having to talk over this. Building with Alvarp. Oh, we gotta get rid of some of those, Cablosion blocks. What are they called? Those, no, not torches, the TNT. We gotta get rid of that stuff. So we have our safety rail. Nice. And then we get rid of the TNT. And let's pop you there. So now we gotta get our fancy torches, and that's just for fire aspect. If you stop playing, if you like kind of dealing with a little bit of spot damage, or you're you're actually quick enough at thinking, which all the times I've played this thing, have not been quick enough at thinking that, hey, I should use these. But if you're quick enough to think, okay, slap it with fire, light it on fire, and then run away, good for you. That was the idea, but it doesn't quite work that way for me. So we're gonna take one of these, which I'm pretty sure I'll use, but I'm not 100% sure. So we will leave that there. This area was intended not to have any issues with food. I have run into them before when I die, which is why I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm actually going to only have 8 on me. Just because you don't need a ton of food here. Or 7. You don't need a ton of food, and if you lose food, that's the only food you get for a while. I think you get food later, but I'm not quite sure. But be very cautious with your snacks in this map. We're gonna place you here. I can't place you here. So this is intentionally designed to make the player a bit nervous, and it also gives them time to spawn these crazy little custom mobs. Thankfully, you have this option though. So we'll just do this real quick, and then we can just go around. And you get to see, you might be able to see the first custom mob. It's not this guy, but that guy might have a bow. You never know. And so again, it's kind of hard to press your mobility in this situation, but if you get opportunities, don't you worry. Because that is kind of the first idea for the first box. So, it is here. Why death is here? Shit. So the creepers are not supposed to be spawning. But whatever. That's okay. We're alive somehow. And so that's actually not the reason that I was scared, but it's still pretty damn scary, so that's the reason I was scared right there. Those guys. So we got a creeper falling down pretty soon. We can just... So the first trick to playing against those guys that you just saw... Oh, come on! Seriously, making me waste an arrow on you? You're not worth it. Totally not worth it. 100% useless. So we're currently pinned down in our own map. Wonderful. I'm supposed to know the proper strategies, but in reality, I died more than some of my testers did playing this map. So do not take my advice on how to play this map as the advice of someone who is good at this map. Those two things, while they can be they can be both true, So apparently the entire front end of this place is broken, which makes it a lot more dangerous than you'd think. Because... Oh shit. Okay. So we're gonna want to get in here and just... Basically what this is gonna do is it's gonna suffocate him. Hey, come on. Come on. Come on. So I'm also tempted. You don't want to TNT this because there are some good chests here that you don't want to TNT. Perfect. See, now he's coming. And then the potions are speed something. And health. So, or instant health something too. So basically you want the potions to fall down on you, which kind of promotes melee, but at the same time, you get in melee with these guys, and bad things happen. So we got a couple, just kind of fancy little swords. Again, nothing too great, but never hurts. So yeah, there is just a standard skeleton with a wooden sword, and then another skeleton fighting that skeleton with a, whatchamacallit, with a bow. It's literally the standard skeleton. So we can just move some things around here. This is... Okay, there's a lot of those guys here. How should we approach that? So the problem is that they don't despawn. Thankfully so I actually made those guys on accident. And basically what happened was, I decided to, so I wanted to have, the skeleton was supposed to die initially, like right off the bat, but that way it's still, since there's a potion inside of them, a splash potion, they follow the rules of mob spawning instead of just always constantly spawning, which is probably true because it wouldn't recognize them properly, so it wouldn't follow all of the rules for for how mobs are supposed to, or hostile mobs spawn in spawners. So having the skeleton on top does that, but the problem is I forgot to give the skeleton 0 health, and so he came with this thing, and that's the result. But yes, we instead now have these things attacking us, which is kind of terrifying. That's okay. Oh, we need this. So we're just gonna go up and around. Actually, no, we're gonna kill these guys like this. Like that. Because there's no reason to kill it up. So range first. For them to burn. This is when the patient there does better than I did. Because if you have the patience to let them all burn, you save a lot of money on arrows. And then now is when we quickly run in here. And that's the other thing that you should know, is that I don't give loot that you can't get otherwise from mobs, in this map anyway. So there's not a huge incentive to keeping it, or to keeping any specific spawner. If you want your chest plate from some of these guys, knock yourself out, but it's not as integral as it is in other areas, or other maps, I should say. Not just areas. Though it is integral in other areas and other maps. So I saw you. I see you. No, you don't. Hey, get out of here. So I think we're actually going to end this here. I was planning on ending it in this island specifically. So going according to plan. Haven't died yet, which is actually kind of surprising. This and that island right there are the two ones I'm expecting to die in. Maybe that one, but because it can get a bit crazy. Maybe the sandstone area, but I'm not sure. I think I nerfed the sandstone area a lot. But yes, that's gonna be this one episode thing. So thanks for watching. Watch the next episode next week and stuff. Bye.